I think it's Argentina. He's screaming out about liberty. And everyone's saying, oh wow, last a high-ranking politician screaming out saying the words we want to hear. Turns out he works for the What Economic Forum. So, you know, it's all the one thing, folks. It's all the one puppet show. So, people have got to be aware of what's going on. They've got to be aware of how this all works. I mean, it's all the one puppet show. That's why when you look at Putin and all of this sort of stuff, it's all the one thing. You can't really see this as being separate. You can't see it as being countries that are competing with each other because they're not. It just doesn't work that way. It's all.
You want to play with me, Bubba?
That's why everyone was in lockstep through this whole scamdemic. It's all one system. That's always been planned to be this way. And like I said, that's why I think all the 666s and the legends of the sky and mirrors and all this stuff. People see all these as biblical prophecies and think they've got to sit back and do nothing, because if they sit back and do nothing, just believe in a book, then they're going to be saved. But I think there's too many coincidences going on here, and there's too much structure to this. And I think they do this every time. I think they've done these resets before. I think they do these, they flood the world out. There's a cataclysm of some sort, whether they do the cataclysm or whether it's just something that happens reoccurring that they know about and we don't. Whether it's the Phoenix event that Jason Bashir talks about. There's all sorts of possibilities of how this happens, but it seems to happen quite regularly, and then they repopulate the world with children, and then they start again, and they do the whole thing again. And all these warnings are left behind to give us the opportunity to actually break through the haze, break through the matrix, break through the belief systems, and actually stand up for ourselves and reclaim the world. We have the ability to do it, folks. I mean, there's billions of us, literally billions of us. And all the talk people have had about, oh, well, yeah, the military and the people, the National Guard, these are never going to turn against their own people. You're never going to get American soldiers turning against Americans. Well, look what just happened in Maui, folks. So, yeah, you're going to have Americans turning against Americans, Australians turning against Australians. Look what we saw in the lockdowns. Look what the police did. Look what all these people did. But anyway, I think I'm about to run out of battery completely, folks, so I better leave it there for now. The same thank yous I always give. Thank you to anybody who's ever sent me a kind email. Thank you to anybody who's ever donated to the website. I couldn't do any of this if it wasn't for you guys. And in Mexico, folks, it's so dangerous. But yeah, I couldn't do any of this if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you to those who make contributions to the Crow House. Now watch out for all these scamming, other websites and scamming accounts trying to scam money out of you folks and asking you to invest in crypto and all this sort of stuff. I'll never do that. I'll never ask you to invest in anything. I'll never have anything to sell you or anything except a t-shirt now and then, which I can't even get you because we're in Australia. But yeah, just the same thank yous. Thank you to anybody on the front line. And stay strong through what's coming, folks, because we're about to hit the big time. We really are. Things are going to go pretty crazy from this point forward. So, yeah, hold on to your hats. I'll bring another video soon. It won't be as long as what it's taken to bring you this one. And we'll work it out soon. What's going on here? Traffic. And I'll talk to you soon, folks. Please take very good care until we speak again. In Lakesh. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Rachel, John from Disney here. Saw that you're doing press, getting out there. Love the men are bad stuff, down with the patriarchy, with that. Just thought we'd have a quick little chat about potentially toning it a tiny bit down on calling the prince a creepy predator. Men are trash, slapping myself right now. Not a fan personally. Oh, another one just got sent to me here.
I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
You really just out here shitting on the property, huh?
Never revisited Snow White again.
Imagine we had Fast and Furious 9 coming out, and all the press was telling them how bad Fast and Furious 1 through 8. Movie about cars, very male-driven cast. Yeah, not a fan.
And then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something little kids would like.
And you are discouraging people from going on the ride.
Was terrified of it.
Are you familiar, Rachel, with how this company makes money? And
Re-signs the electrolytes and zero sugar. Liquid IV, real hydrating.
Alright, so the other day I was at my friend Jordan's house. I was helping him move. He had rented a U-Haul, the whole shebang, and he tells me to pull a guitar case out of the U-Haul. And he jokingly says, "Be careful, that's a pre-war Martin." I laughed, but
We found out that they lied to us about 9/11, about Saudi Arabia's involvement, and all they want to do is make the guy who's telling CNN that out to be some kind of a crazy. It's happening right now. They're not angry that the government lied to them. They're angry that someone told them that someone lied to them.
And why is
That's what's called an adult child of an alcoholic, and we're full of adult children of alcoholics. We don't get upset at the guy who's beating us. We get upset at the guy who told us that there's a guy beating us. Those people.
thought to myself internally, what would a pre-war Martin actually sound like and feel like? And that's kind of how we ended up here.
You see, friends, this is the Martin Guitar Factory located in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. It's home to some of the oldest known guitars on the face of the planet. And I was lucky enough to go with some of my friends to try and check them out and see what an antique vintage Martin might actually sound like.
So Martin actually told me I would have the whole entire museum to myself with all these... Oh! What do you... Get out. Get...
A propaganda show called Cops, where a camera crew follows police officers, constables, sheriff's deputies, federal agents, and state troopers during patrols and other police activities, is one of the most desensitizing campaigns ever run against the American people, in my opinion. With its first airing on March 11, 1989, it's one of the longest-running television programs in the United States history. Viewed from the perspective of liberty, it can easily be seen as a public relations psyop, conditioning the minds of the masses to accept police force and brutality on the American public as acceptable, necessary, and even entertaining and heroic. Well, YouTube recently recommended this episode uploaded by the Real Responders channel entitled Undercover Cops Dress as Clowns to Catch Suspects. And I'm sure the irony is not lost on those who know what police departments are all about. In the description under this video, we read, officers set up a sting operation to go undercover as Coco the Clown to catch suspects soliciting and paying for the disguise works, and the undercover cops are able to catch multiple suspects. Elsewhere, officers patrol the parade and deal with disruptive members of the public, and that would be on Bourbon Street in Louisiana. We're not going to talk about that part, though. Now, I don't know what you think about prostitution. I personally think it's gross and would never participate in it. But maybe some of my other fellow Americans would, and maybe they don't think it's gross. But isn't the foundation of this country supposed to be built on life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness? Who am I to determine what should make you happy and what should make you unhappy? If two consenting adults want to arrange a transfer of wealth for a rendered service, has a crime been committed? And if it is true that two adults agree to certain terms, what do you call a third party who,
It ain't
in an
coming, though.
unwanted fashion, intervenes in that arrangement and physically apprehends and
Alright, I'm outta
attacks
here.
the consenting party? Obviously, I can't show you extended clips of this particular segment because